Hi and welcome to Hygge and Homeschool, or welcome back to Hygge and Homeschool. In this video I'm going to be talking about exactly what we're gonna do for language arts in the coming up school year, my daughter's 4th grade year. We are going to be using Evan-Moor workbooks, and I'm going to go through them. And then we're going to do daily readings, daily writings, and we have like a rhythm throughout the week. And then we use unit studies, but I'm going to be talking about all that in this video. So welcome or welcome back, and thank you for watching. So hi again. Now I've turned the camera around and I'm going to show you what resources I'm going to use for language arts. The reason I'm using mostly Evan-Moor, but I also use a little bit of resources from others, is that they're so easy. They're open and go, they're affordable, they're not subscription based, they're flexible. You don't have to do, every day. I'm going to show you one of our resources. This one's the only one I have that has like a daily one. And I don't like that as much, because someday we'll do a lot and other days we'll do a little less. And I like the flexibility. If I'm told I have to do this on Monday and this on Tuesday and this on Wednesday, for me it is a little bit stressful. But we usually end up getting something done every day in the books. So that is why I've chosen this approach, and now I'm going to go through them one by one and show you exactly what we're going to do. So the first one I am going to show you is Language Fundamentals from Evan-Moor. And this is like I want to say basis grammar book. My daughter will usually do 2 pages every morning in this book. And I like that this gives, a really fundamental look at the language. I'm just gonna show you, the content of it. It's really easy. It's open and go, and simple work pages. There is not much coloring, and it's not like super fun, but it's easy to do, and my daughter likes to do it. She doesn't love to do it, but she likes it. And for me, it's easy to correct her work at the end of the day. I usually do it the next day, so I correct, and then she does the day's work, and then I correct the next day. So we do it a little opposite of many, but that is how we do it. The other book that we're going to start out using every day is this one, Spell and Write. And this one we really, both of us love. It has these little units. Let me show you the different units here in the content. So they have these different units. And then after each unit, let me see if I can find it. They have a spelling test. Then I read it aloud to my daughter, and she actually corrects it herself. But this is also, she does 2 pages a day, and it's really open and go. And I think she thinks it's fun to do and enjoys it. And for me, again, there is like all the answers here, so it's really easy for me to go back here and I can correct her work super easy. And again, we do it so she does it one morning, and then the next day before she does her schoolwork, or while she does her schoolwork, I sit and correct the stuff from the day before, and we can talk about it while she's still doing it. If there's anything she misunderstood or we need to talk a little more about. Then the third book that she will be doing every day is this one, Reading and Comprehension, and it's just super easy. She does 1 a day of these. This is actually, a picture, but it could be anything. It could be a text. It's a lot of different reading. So there's usually a text or something she needs to look at and comprehend, and then there are some questions. And here's also an easy guide to to correct those. And let me show you the content. And here she only does one page. I'm not even sure there is a content page. No. But it is just, you know, text. And then some questions or something she has to do. So this is the 3 main books that she will be doing every day. And now I'm going to show you the books that I kind of add in during the school year. The good thing with these is there's nothing for me to read up on. There's no teacher's guide. There's just what she reads, but I feel it's super easy for me to read and then know what we're doing that day. But this is our 3 main books in language arts. Then I have for reading these 2 also. These 2 I'm not sure we're going to finish throughout the year, but I'm going to show them here. I really like this one. It is beautifully illustrated with lots of colors and lots of fun things. So I think she will enjoy that too. And you can see there's like different stuff to read. And here's also an easy way for me to correct her work after. But we're doing so much other reading that I'm throwing at her that I'm not sure we're gonna do these. I also, since we loved the language arts fundamentals so much, I got the reading and comprehension. But again, she will be doing this one. So this is the one that we're gonna focus on first. I think she might finish this before the year's over, and then I have these 2. I might also have her actually pick which one of these she's gonna start with or begin with beginning of the year. So these 2, I think she will finish one of them, and then I'll see how much she'll do in the other one. This one I also got for me, because I like to go through and see what do they expect her to know. And I feel this is like a good foundation for me. I could have bought, you know, a teacher's manual or something. But I'm using it as much for me, this one, to see if I covered everything. So that is the reading, and I'm gonna show you how I also do the reading in the unit studies. So we're starting out with ancient Egyptian or ancient Egypt unit study in August. And of course I have a ton more books. I'm gonna do a separate video about the unit study, but this is our read aloud. So I will read that, and I might have her read aloud to me a little bit in this one, but it's mainly me who reads this. And then she'll be reading this one. And in the reading, I'm also expecting her to narrate some of this back to me. And I'm also expecting her to read, you know, other books in between this. But this is like her main Egypt book that I expect her to read, you know, throughout the month that we have about Egypt. So that's just to show you a little of the other reading that we do. So now for writing, this was like our main book, but I have some other resources too. I have this one that I would throw in there. If I could see us finishing this if we're really fast before the year ends. And then I might throw this one in. I also found this one. I thought it looked pretty good. And then for cursive, this one she will be doing. I'm not sure if she'll be doing it every day or I put it in on a specific day, like you'll do this every Thursday. But this is more, you know, to get the handwriting going. And there I also have a book I've made myself with a little bit of copy work that she does. She does that every day. And then for writing, she also has a pen pal. And let me show you from our body unit study. This is my book, but she has one that looks the same, where we write you know, different things here. So she will get a lot of writing in through the unit study. I'm gonna be talking a little bit more about what I expect a 4th grader to be able to write in the end of this video. And then I have this one that I so that's the only one I regretted that I got, because it is structured with weeks and activities, and since we do so much both reading and writing through the unit studies, I feel like we need something very open and go, just to be sure we cover everything we need to in the grammar sense. Last book I want to show you from Evan-Moor, I will grab it, is this one, where I think if I feel we need to go a little deeper into the grammar, I'm gonna throw this in probably in the second half of the year. But this is more of a grammar book than writing, but also really easy, and again, so you can correct. And let me show you. Oh, she already did a little bit in it. I didn't even know she had started. So you can see there are different concepts that they're teaching you to go through. So that was the writing part. So now I'm going to talk a little bit about what I expect my 4th grader to know by the end of the year. And even in 3rd grade, I feel we've already started to touch a little bit on this in the reading. My reading expectation is that she reads and understands both fiction and non-fiction, and that she can summarize it or maybe narrate it to me if it's a non-fiction book. I also expect her to like identify ideas, like if there's, it could be even as maybe not non-fiction, but maybe not fiction, but especially in non-fiction, if there is an idea and a supporting argument for it, that she can tell me, oh, this is the idea and this is the supporting argument. And that she can, now when it's 4th grade, I would expect her to go much more into details about different things. And I just say, that's a bird. What kind of bird is it? You know, does it migrate? What time of year does it come and go? You know, stuff like that, much more detailed. I also want her to be able to compare and contrast things in her reading and tell me about it. And I want her to be able to look at a sentence and see if it's structured, if it starts with an argument and then follows up with like a conclusion. So that's where I'm at with what I expect her to do. And then there are my writing expectations, that I want her to be able to write multi-paragraph pieces, like at least a page, if not more, about a subject. And that she is able to do narrative storytelling, that she can describe events and dialogue between people if she narrates to me or in her writing. Again, I don't expect her to write a 40-page novel, but I expect her to be able to write at least a page, if not more, of narrative. So that's the non-fiction. No, I keep doing this wrong. The fiction. For the non-fiction, I expect to be able to do an opinion piece. I don't mean like 20-page New Yorker opinion about something. I mean like a page. I like polar bear best of all the Arctic animals. I like it best because this and this and this, and put up 3 to 4, even more arguments why that is the best animal, and then a conclusion because it really supports the tundra in the Arctic region, and it keeps the population of this and this down, and also it's super cute. So to give her opinion give some arguments and summarize it up. And then I also want her to be able to explain a topic or a book. You know, if we're talking fiction, I keep saying non-fiction for fiction, but for fiction, I want her to be able to talk about the characters, the setting, you know, why do you think it was written like this? If you take a modern story or an elder story, can you see differences in the language? So I expected to be able to write informational about both fiction and non-fiction. And non-fiction is a little more easy to write informational about. It could be something like this. I expect it to be a lot longer paragraphs that she will write, and go a lot more in depth on what we're going into in 4th grade. This is I would say midway 3rd grade that we did this. And you can see here I might expect a lot more explaining text for when we go out of 4th grade. I also haven't gotten that much into commas. Of course, punctuation, she would know how to put in her sentences, you know, to finish them. But the grammar, I expect us to go, you know, one level deeper in 4th grade than 3rd. And then, of course, I feel like it's just with daily doing it, reading and writing every day, and have that rhythm, get it into our everyday school. So that is my expectations. So this approach work for us is like a solid mix of our workbook and our units, of workbooks and our unit study, and real life writing to pen pals and reading everything, you know, books. And we have she's in a book club, or local library just started a book club for kids. I hope it will not just be a summer thing, but that enough people come so they will continue it during the year. So there she'll read a book every month. We have our own homeschool book group too, where that I hope might come up and run again in the fall. And this works really well for us. I don't know if I'm on the right track of what I should be expecting of a 4th grader. I've, you know, seen videos, I've read the guidelines, but again, disclaimer, I'm not a teacher. I'm just a mom teaching my kid. But I feel like we have a solid language art foundation going on here. And of course, there's always stuff that you can work on. Even for us adults, we probably could be better at grammar and stuff. And you can hear I'm not a native English speaker, so I definitely can. I write a lot better because they have time to think more about what I write. But yes. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you could get some useful information from it. And a disclaimer, I'm not at all a teacher, or I don't have any education degree, and I don't know exactly what the curriculum is for a 4th grader in the United States. So if you have some corrections, some other ideas or input, please put it in the comments below, and like and subscribe if you like this kind of content on my channel. Thank you again so much for watching, and I hope to see you again. Bye.